Hey, everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 147. And as always, thank you so much for joining me today and listening in. If you are new, welcome, and check out some of the other episodes on the page. All episodes are available on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music, so make sure you are subscribed so you can get notified for a new episode every Tuesday. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at the SkyLounge. Stalk me on Snapchat at DA13IG5UNG. Let's get started. Fearful augmented perception, social media, and reality. You ever just spend hours on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever the fuck your poison is, and think to yourself, holy shit, people are fucking morons. I think that when I walk outside, but that's not the point here. Over the weekend, 2 separate shooting incidents within the span of 24 hours occurred, causing nearly 30 deaths in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. I want to quickly say this without derailing this podcast to a whole political thing. This is a tragedy, and I wish there was a solution to ensure horrendous events like this never happens. Right? And, I really do berate those people who say thoughts and prayers without any kind of meaning. I really do. But my sincere hope is that from this terrible tragedy, that some kind of solution comes out of it. Because this is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And unfortunately, from this tragedy comes the morons on social media. Boys and girls, libertards and conservatives are playing the blame game and the dumb logic game. Yet the killings will continue. Solutions must be reached. Do I have a solution? No. I'm just some fucking jackass in his room recording this podcast. I think we do, however, need to come together regardless of politics and figure this fucking thing out. Because this isn't an issue of gun control. This isn't an issue of left versus right wing, libertarians versus conservatives. This is a matter of human life. To me, this is very simple. How much do you value human life? We've got to figure out a way to take care of this. This is absolutely awful. And here's the thing. When events like these happen, you go on social media, it's just pouring outrage. Everyone's emotional. And you just get a sense that everyone's just reacting. Everyone's just saying shit. And to me, it's a very simple observation, and I believe it's true. Social media is truly a clusterfuck of dipshits who blurt out unbelievably putrid bile, and is becoming more and more of a clown show. Politicians, celebrities, athletes, and even regular-ass people like you and me. All clowns. And here's the thing. I ask you. When people spill all this putrid shit out, do you listen to them? Do you? Because, so we just talked about the issue that happened, this weekend. I don't have a solution. I don't. All I'm trying to point out right now is the fact that in social media, people are just going to react without any kind of solution. And therein lies the problem. It's just schisms and factions just saying stupid shit to one another. And that's why, listen, this is why I said initially, I don't want to put any of the fucking politics in it, because that shit is just pointless. Right? It's a matter of human life. It really is. And the reality of this entire thing is, as much as people fucking blurt out their stupid shit on social media, right? As much as people are telling everybody that things need to change, there's issues, yada, 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 nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And here's the thing. I'm derailing from my initial point that I wrote on the script here. But the thing is, when people just complain and complain and complain without doing anything, you start asking yourself, who gives a fuck? Right? And my indifference comes from just utter lack of perspective. And this idea that, if we complain enough, shit's going to get figured out. No, it's not. Got to take action. We got to do something. Right? We can't live in this screen and just fucking yell at it and expect things to change. If you want shit done, you got to take care of it. You do. And again, boys and girls, it's a bit of a somber way to start the episode. But for me, as someone who lived in a city where they have the biggest, massacre, gun shooting massacre in the United States just 2 years ago, the subject is very important to me. Because it's human life. It's human life. And it's fucking ridiculous that we all just can't fucking sit down and figure out a goddamn solution. So until then, who gives a fuck? And I'm not saying who gives a fuck in regards to the issue, right? I'm within the issue of the loss of human life. It is a tragedy. We gotta do something about it. But everyone's just gonna bitch and complain. So, there you go. And I'm part of the problem! I'm part of the fucking problem! Because I'm living in my fucking screen. I'm looking at my shit and wanting shit to change. I'm not doing it. I'm not. And, boys and girls, ultimately, as much as a hypocrite as I can sound like right now, we gotta figure some shit out. And not just get angry looking at social media. We gotta do something. Jesus fucking Christ, boys and girls. This is what happens when the topic of the week just comes hours before I start writing, and I don't really plan it through. And unfortunately, this is kind of the way things have been going with the podcast, unfortunately. And I do apologize about that. But again, why am I apologizing? What the fuck? All I want to say is that I know it's not my best work right now. I know it's not. But slowly but surely, boys and girls, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So, it's time for some subs. Guys, all game and match reviews are on the YouTube page at the SCY so make sure you check that shit out for more detailed shit. Arsenal preseason. Well, it's over. At least we can say that. Lacazette had a minor injury, but should be back for the first match. I thank fuck for that. Now, there's been moves, transfers, buys and sells, and got a couple to list here on the outs. And of course, this isn't all of the guys who have left Arsenal. Of course, there are certain youth academy players that have left under the radar, but these are the ones that are very notable names. Xavier Amaechi to Hamburg, under 23 guy. Just an under 23 guy. I screenshotted this for whatever reason. Takuma Asano, Partizan Belgrade. Never really understood why we signed him when it was going to be difficult to be getting a playing visa for this kid. Plus, I don't think he was all that rated, so bye, I guess. Christian Bielik, loaned out constantly and never got a chance. He just never got a chance. Unfortunate, but it happens. Now, these are the big ones. The next three are the big ones. Carl Jenkinson, Nottingham Forest. An Arsenal lad through and through. And he left with class. 70 games played for Arsenal. Years on years on years of loan spells, and he leaves with a heartfelt note that all Arsenal fans just might cry about. I mean, I won't lie. I was close to doing it myself. It was a beautiful letter. And I wish nothing but the best for Carl Jenkinson. That kid has been excellent. in terms of how he's handled his situation in Arsenal for 8 years. And hopefully, first team action, Nottingham Forest gets him better and gets him more playing time, and hopefully you get that big money, big fella. Speaking of big fellas, Danny Welbeck to Watford on a free transfer, mind you. Man, oh man, this is tough. Not because it's Watford. I don't really have any real gripes about Watford. Of course, last season we got dick punched by them. Was it? Oh boy, was it the League Cup or the FA Cup? I try to block all that shit from my head because it hurts to think about it. But yeah. I don't really have any animosity towards Watford. And the first kit I ever bought from Arsenal was Danny Welbeck. And that guy Welbs, man, I'm going to miss you, man. I really am. Guy was a phenomenal servant to the club. And unfortunately, his injuries really sidelined him so much. And it's really unfortunate because last season, I thought he was hitting a stride. I thought he was in his peak form, and then he gets injured again. And so I only wish the best for Danny Welbeck as well. And hopefully he can pick things up at Watford, but not, of course, at the expense of Arsenal. That would suck. Now, Lauren Koscielny. Bordeaux. Let's go through this, shall we? Let's go through this. 9 years in Arsenal Football Club. In that time, Koscielny has missed a cumulative 67 total games and 443 days. In that time, Koscielny has won 2 FA Cups and one he didn't participate in because of fucking course, injuries. In that time, Koscielny was given the title of captain in the 2018-19 season. And after being vice, and wearing the armband a couple times regularly. Because, of course, Per Mertesacker was injured and notably aging. Right? But within the span of the last 3 weeks, he destroyed his reputation by being a fucking quitter. Tells the team and staff that he won't participate in the USA friendlies, and more or less tells the club to sell him. Finally opens up to fans via social media for the most asinine, lame-brained fucking line. Basically saying, I talked to everyone months before, and this was planned. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Your glass cannon ass was probably needed, in fucking France. You probably fucking miss home, right? Miss your mommy, miss your daddy. Want to go home, you fucking quitter. And here's the thing too. This fucker agreed with Bordeaux to post a fucking transfer video. And I want you guys, if you want, head over to the Bordeaux Twitter page and see Lauren Koscielny wearing the Arsenal jersey and taking it off to reveal the Bordeaux jersey. You are a fucking piece of shit. Alright? Really a fucking piece of shit. Like, you fucking whine and weasel your way out of the fucking preseason because your glass ass can't even fucking stand on the pitch without breaking something, and then fucking cry that you can't get your fucking deal done. Koscielny may have gotten a crucial goal or two during Arsenal, but you truly stunk it up on your way out. Fuck off to Bordeaux, you goddamn glass, and cry foul when you get injured again. And here's the thing, I'm not wishing an injury upon anybody. I'm not. But what I'm telling you is, what I'm fucking flat out telling you is, this glass piece of shit is going to get on that fucking pitch in Bordeaux, and I swear to you, within the first half of the season, he'll have some fucking injury. He just will. That's the fucking guy he is. £4.5 million for a 33-year-old glass-ass defender, I'll gladly take it. Fuck off to Bordeaux. I hope we never see you again. You fucking piece of shit. And it's no fucking wonder Didier Deschamps did not pick you in the 2018 World Cup. And I'm fucking glad they won it without you. You crybaby bitch. You go on the fucking media and complain that France won the World Cup. What kind of fucking nationality fucking patron are you fucking asshole? Go fuck yourself, Lauren Koscielny, you fucking bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. That shit got me so fucking pissed off. Call yourself captain. Weasel your way out. You're basically Robin Van Persie. You fucking sack of shit. You and that fucking cuntbag Robin Van Persie deserve each other. Why don't you go fucking lay in the bed and ass fuck each other until you come glue and both play for Bordeaux? Because apparently that shit's fun. Asshole. Now, with all that angst out of the way, I want to bring in some more positive vibes. We had a lot of negative energy out there. Sadness, anger. I want to bring in a little bit more optimism. A little bit more happiness. Because we also transfer in, boys and girls, we transfer in. Nicolas Pepe from Lille signed with Arsenal. A truly exciting signing, in my opinion, boys and girls. Second highest goal scorer, 22, only behind Kylian Mbappe at 33 in Ligue 1 in France. I call it a farmer's league all the time, and I really do stand by that. But scoring output there somehow can translate in the Premier League, so that's kind of a good thing. I mean, we've seen Lacazette do it. And 72 million pounds. 72 million pounds. A club record signing. Which is funny, because our transfer budget for the summer was somewhere around 45 million. Busted that shit wide open. But the pay structure is different. Much like the Saliba signing, the transfer is going to be segmented annually to Lille, I believe, for the next 4 or 5 years. And the upfront payment is relatively small. So we get this deal done because next week, meaning only a few days away, Premier League week number 1, match day 1 at Newcastle United. August 11th. Oh my God. The season is about to begin. Come on, you Gunners! Now, boys and girls, of course, there's other football news. The U.S. women's national team's Jill Ellis will be stepping down as head coach, first coach to ever win 2 World Cups. She will step down after the 5 victory tour matches for the U.S. women's national team. She does have 102 wins, but if she is able to win 4 games, she will surpass Tony Chico. Sorry, boys and girls, I can't pronounce names. You know that by now. For most wins in team history. I believe Tony sits at 105, and so, boy, oh boy, if Jill Ellis goes out there and wins all 5 matches, oof, legend, absolute legend, and she goes out like a legend. So, congratulations, Jill Ellis, and best of luck in the remaining matches of your coaching in the U.S. Women's National Team. Now, speaking of the women's national teams, the Women's World Cup, FIFA has officially green-lighted a 32-team tournament for the 2023 World Cup. So essentially, you're going to have 8 fodder teams. That's pretty much it, right? Well, actually, you're going to have 16 fodder. 8 more fodder teams. So that's my math. That's my terrible math. And you don't have to be a fucking genius to calculate that most European leagues will be kicking off this weekend. And holy shit, all the football you can imagine. All the football you can imagine. It's going to be so delightful. Weekends, just turning on the TV. It's not just going to be baseball anymore. It's going to be football. Just football everywhere, boys and girls. Football! Got excited. Speaking of football, more football. UEFA Super Cup, Liverpool versus Chelsea. Obviously, the winners of the Champions League and the winners of the Europa League will be refereed by Stephanie Frappart, which will mark her as the first woman to referee a major men's UEFA match. Best of luck to Frappart. who will probably get ripped to shreds by the internet trolls because they're morons. But this could be a great precedence for women referees everywhere. So best of luck to you, Stephanie Prepart. I only wish you the best in how you handle the situation on the pitch. Now, players retiring from the game of football. Two notable ones. Former Manchester United players. Patrice Evra and Diego Forlan. I know when people say Forlan wasn't United. Yeah, he wasn't United. He didn't have a great career there, but he wasn't United. Right? More notably with Atletico Madrid, he had a bigger prolific career. Uruguay as well for the national squad. And so we say goodbye to two legends of the game. Patrice Evra, he still loves this game. I love this game! I know, they're both United players. I'm not really crazy about Forlan because he in Uruguay kind of dick punched Korea years ago. That still hurts. But hey, that's football, baby. It happens. It happens. But we got more football. Right? The Seahawks open training camp. Boys and girls, training camp business is good. But of course, injuries do arise. Injuries do happen. LJ Collier. Jesus Christ. Our first round pick edge rusher goes down with an injury and will probably be out for a while, unfortunately. Hopefully by week 1 or 2, he should be raring to go. But kind of bummed out. Probably have to fuck around with formations a lot, and it's going to put him time off the fucking field. So it's not going to be all that great. But shit happens, man. But good news, Seahawks fans. Tyler Ott, long snapper, signed a contract extension. Awesome shit, man. And we clench our butthole tights. Tights? We clench our buttholes tight. Brain sometimes switches the words around, kids. But you know why we have to keep our buttholes tight right now? Because the preseason is tomorrow. Yes. So, for the Seattle Seahawks, preseason begins tomorrow against the Denver Broncos. And that is going to be just great because it's football. It's football. It's back at it. We're back at it. Go Hawks! Now, the NFL. With football on the horizon, fun times are ahead. The NFL's 100th anniversary. 100th anniversary. And the NFL Network will be doing a top 100 players of all time list with Bill Belichick, Chris Collinsworth, and Rich Eisen at the helm doing that show. That should be pretty fucking awesome to do. Especially having a guy like Belichick just divulge information from football from his brain. That man's a fucking genius, and I just want to hear more from him. I do. Really do. And boys and girls, when we got football back, of course, the Hall of Fame game. It was between the Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. Meh. Wasn't too crazy about it. It was kind of like watching the AAF, but hey, it's actually NFL. So, there you go. Very friendly exhibition kind of shit. And oftentimes, contracts aren't that friendly. They're not. But some are. And in the case of Michael Thomas, wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, 5 years, $100 million. Highest paid receiver. And for Tom Brady, quarterback, New England, 2 years, $70 million. And not a surprise. Not a surprise that he got paid. I mean, more of a surprise that dipshits thought he wasn't going to get a contract extension. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's going to keep playing. God, people. Get over it. You hate Tom Brady at this point? Like, what the fuck are you hating on? And a shout out to my friend Erin. Love her to death. But we, talked over the week. And I told her, like, dude, Brady's the best. I know you hate him, but he's fucking best. She still hates him, of course. But I tell and try to convince everybody who is a Brady hater that there's really nothing to hate about Brady at this point. The man is the greatest. There's really nothing else to debate about. Like that, to me, those are the objective facts of what he's done, of what he's accomplished, what he's had to go through. So, call me crazy, kids. Oh, you're a bandwagon. No! Still a Seahawks fan. Seahawks till I die, kids. But you got to recognize the game. You got to recognize the real. And Tom Brady is the realest, biggest deal in the NFL. Greatest quarterback of all time. Greatest of all time. Period. Now, boys and girls, let's move on to some Lakers news. The Lakers, from the fires of dysfunction, come out like a phoenix and hope that we're not just a small chick, but a full-fledged firebird, right? And so our coaching staff has been announced. Alongside Frank Vogel, our assistants will be Jason Kidd, Lionel Hollins, Phil Handy, Miles Simon, Mike Penberthy, and Quentin Crawford. So hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be a good time. And speaking of good times, Lance Stevenson heading off to China. Make him dance, Lance, in the CBA. Okay. Shaqtin' a full meme guy. That's how I'll always remember him. Shaqtin' a full meme guy. That's him. You mustn't burn your tongue, Your Grace. For those of you who don't understand that, Bleacher Report, Game of Zones. 2019-2020 regular season key fixtures. Obviously, opening day and Christmas games are huge in the NBA, boys and girls. Doubly so for now in the world of the Los Angeles Lakers. Opening day, October 22nd, versus the Clippers. Christmas Day, December 25th, versus the Clippers. Big, big, big games. The Lakers have to win. The Lakers have to win. Let's go, Lakers! Let's fucking do this. Now, in the NBA, there have been some news. Pretty quiet, though. It's the offseason, obviously, right? You got the USA basketball shit going on. But all I'm hoping is Kyle Kuzma doesn't get injured. That's my only thing with that shit. But despite the general, malaise and quietness in the NBA right now, there have been some moves. Players getting paid and getting laid. CJ McCollum, 3 years, $100 million extension, and Draymond Green, 4 years, $100 million max extension for their respective teams are the Portland Trailblazers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, that is solid moves for both teams. You need those guys. You absolutely do. So, something that they had to do. Now, the All-Decade team has been announced, boys and girls. Yes, the All-Decade team has been announced. First team, Curry, Harden, LBJ, KD, Kawhi. Second team, Westbrook, Melo, CP3, AD, Griffin. Third team, Kobe, Wade, Aldridge, Giannis, and PG-13. And all the fucking fanboys will have their goddamn opinions. But for me, this is very simple. This is just a goddamn list made by some fucking NBA nerd. Okay? That's pretty much it. That's all I'm saying right now. Do they know 100%? No. Not really. We've seen it with a lot of these janky-ass lists. Right? The one fucking complaint I have about this list specifically. One complaint. James Harden over Russell Westbrook? Really? Really? James stepping back for a fucking three and crying foul Harden over Mr. 3 seasons of triple-double Russell Westbrook. Really now? Okay. All right. Someone is smoking crack. And that is not good. You gotta get off that crack! It's true. It's true. Now, boys and girls, what isn't going to be cracking anytime soon is the ice. But we got to break the ice on some of these Golden Knights news. Nikita Gusev traded to the New Jersey Devils for a 2020 third-round pick and a 2021 second-round pick. The Devils signed Gusev to a 2-year, $9 million, $4.5 million annual average salary contract. And here's the thing. I made a video about this on YouTube, and I still think this is up in the air as to who won the trade. But if you guys want a more kind of expanded thought process of what I thought about this, signing, go ahead. Go on YouTube. Watch that shit! Now, Marcus Kelly. Apologize, Marcus, if I'm butchering your goddamn name. But the good news is, man, he signs a 3-year entry-level contract with the Knights. Awesome. Best of luck to you, Marcus. Hopefully, we can see you on the ice. And obviously, we're going to see him during the preseason. That's going to be fucking great. Now, Vegas Golden Knights national broadcast. Now, I don't think it's as much as last season, but we got 6 national broadcast fixtures, which is good. San Jose Sharks, October 6th, at home. Chicago Blackhawks, at home, November 13th. At the Anaheim Ducks, February 23rd. Los Angeles Kings, at home, March 1st. Arizona Coyotes on the road, March 18th. And the very next week, at home, against the Arizona Coyotes. So a lot of these fixtures just look like division rivalries, which is great. But yeah, I would prefer some other East Coast team for national broadcasting. But it happens. It happens, boys and girls. Shit gets wild, right? But all we can do as Knights fans when we get anything is just say, go Knights, go. Go Knights, go! Now, the NHL, there are some news, man. Minnesota GM Paul Fenton was fired after 1 season. Yikes. Alex Meruello? Fuck you, because bought the Arizona Coyotes with a 95% stake in franchise. Watch this team fuck off to another city that actually gives a fuck. Because fuck you, Arizona. You deserve nothing nice. Chris Kunitz will retire to join the Chicago Blackhawks front office. 4 cups, 2 Chicago, 2 Pittsburgh. Now, that's crazy. Right? Essentially 2 solid teams that were dominant during their stretch. Right? And so, we see another big name headed off. And it happens. It happens. Age gets to you. And the Tampa Bay Lightnings realized this and decided to lock up Andrei Vasilevsky for 8 years on a $76 million contract, which equates to about $9.5 million on an annual average salary. Good Lord. If Vasilevsky can keep up that form of how he's just been doing the last few years, fantastic. It's a fantastic deal because eventually people are going to overpay goaltenders, right? They are. But to me, this is a good signing. You need Vasilevsky. You really do need Vasilevsky in that lineup. Will you get him some help, though? That's the question. Will they? Probably not. It's Tampa Bay. They're going to just try to work some shit out. They're going to think that their head coach is still their best option when he's clearly not. But that's none of my business. Now, boys and girls, we got to talk about some Dodgers. We gotta talk about some Dodgers action. Because the trade deadline was last Wednesday. And the Dodgers made a couple of moves. More so for depth, I would imagine, than anything else. So, Christopher Negron from the Seattle Mariners was traded for a minor leaguer. And here's the thing. All these major trades, they're all minor leaguers. So let's just read off the guys we brought in. Jed Gyorko from the St. Louis Cardinals. Adam Kolarek from the Tampa Bay Rays. So, 2 infielders, 1 pitcher, major signings really, and there were others. Of course, there were others, but hopefully these roster depth moves can help us get to the World Series again. For me personally, I know everyone's saying the World Series, but for me personally, if they make it to the NLCS, I'm already a happy camper. I'm not going to be that fucking bitch that says, they suck. Like, no, dude, they got back here. They got back to that almost point. And that's awesome, right? And what's also awesome in the Dodgers is Clayton Kershaw. Holy fuck. 3rd in franchise's all-time strikeout list with 2397 Ks. I just read that number like that so you fuckers can understand what the fuck I said. 2,397 strikeouts. 2,397 strikeouts. Surpassing Dodgers legend Sandy Koufax. And here's the crazier part. Here's the fucking crazier part. He pitched the game last night against the Cardinals. And now Kershaw sits at 2,406. 2,406 strikeouts. As much as I hated my visit to Los Angeles because of the general shittiness of that city, watching Kershaw pitch was the fucking best treat. It was one of the best fucking treats. And I'm happy that Clayton Kershaw is beating records like this. And I fucking hope this man can win a World Series. I really, really want Clayton Kershaw to win a World Series. That would be fucking amazing. Because this man deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. Now, guys, remember, all weekly writing is in the links in the description below. So check that shit out. Weekly writing number 24, nursery rhyme. And now, Once Upon a Time in Rhyme. Bunch of nursery rhymes that I had in my head and just wanted to see what I can rhyme shit with. Some are very difficult. I will say that. I had to improvise a lot of this bullshit. And weekly film number 24, boys and girls. You know, since the last Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I haven't watched anything new. So I figured, let's take it back. Rewind on some classic Tarantino flicks. Inglourious Bastards. Released 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago to this exact date, but 10 years ago in 2009. So the plot. In Nazi-occupied France, two separate plots unfold to take down the Nazi party. All the while, a Sherlock Holmes-like SS officer is hot on their trails. Tarantino's mind is able to create these stories, yet is based in reality. Here's the thing. This is a revisionist history thing, right? In terms of story, kind of similar to how he did with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But Tarantino's able to just craft this world so well. And this is one of his many amazing talents. To just sculpt out a world. A world. Not just a scene. A world. Right? It feels lived in. It feels breathed in. And it's a writing, too. It really is. So shout out to Tarantino. The fucking genius. Characters. Christoph Waltz. Holy shit. Christoph Waltz as Colonel Hans Landa. How is this his first American film and he wins an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor? One word. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. One of the best characters from the start of the movie till the very end of the movie. He is perfect from the get-go. And his partnership with Quentin Tarantino has been extremely fruitful. Remember, boys and girls, right after Inglourious Bastards, he linked up with Quentin Tarantino again in Django Unchained, won another Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. So Christoph Waltz, what an amazing, amazing actor. And such a pleasure to watch on screen. He's just, wonderful. Such a wonderful fucking actor. And to make such a evil entity of a Nazi, to make that character so just insane to say this, but relatable in that sense. It's crazy. But it works. And that's to the credit of Christoph Waltz and Quentin Tarantino. It's amazing shit. And here's the thing, when we say amazing shit, we gotta talk about Brad Pitt. Ooh-wee! Brad Pitt. Brad fucking Pitt. That's all I gotta say. Gorlami. Eli Roth, Diane Kruger, Michael Fassbender, Daniel Brühl, and others all serve as great players on a set piece Tarantino fleshed out for each and every one of them, I feel. I feel like each and every one of these characters that are written, Tarantino and his, I'm sure his writing staff, right? I'm sure his writing staff have a hand in just forming this world, right? With these pieces. It's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Another shout out in the visuals department. Another shout out to Robert Richardson, the cinematography guru. Some of the best shots Tarantino has had, I believe, in film. Of course, that wasn't until Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That shit just blew everything out of the waters, man. Holy shit. That was just incredible. Now, let's talk about the music. Part Ennio Morricone and part Tarantino's brain. My God, Morricone. Anytime you hear a track of his, you know you're getting that good, pure, clean shit. And it's so wonderful. And I remember I wasn't too crazy about some of the modern songs when I watched it the first few times, but it gets better after a while. It does get better after a while. And with the miscellaneous shit, I notice more and more that Tarantino does really love revisionist history stuff and fictionalizing real events, which I'm all for. I'm absolutely all for, because that's the whole kind of fantasy element in the sense that it's not real, but it feels real. And he does it so brilliantly. He really does. And so for me, Inglourious Bastards, dare I say it, boys and girls, a 9.5. Tarantino creates another one of his signature brand films encompassing some of the best aspects of movie making. And I know, I'm nitpicking at this point. Oh, it's not perfect. Yeah, I know. Whenever I give a score like 9 or 9.5, it's at that point of like, it's not completely perfect, but it's goddamn near close. So, shout out to Inglourious Basterds. Shout out to fucking Quentin Tarantino, the goddamn god. Unbelievable. And to continue this unbelievable religious uplift in terms of finding gods, gotta talk about my musical goddess. My musical god, Lady Gaga. Album of the week, number 24, The Fame Monster. Fun titty bit, I've had this EP on vinyl for quite some time now, and now I decided it's a good time to go over it. Because fuck you. You know, I didn't want to listen to any new albums. I think I was going to review a DJ Snake album, but it's counterintuitive. It's just more or less kind of the same shit. Yes, I listened to that entire album. Yes, I like some of the tracks, but rather just review this. So let's go. This album serves as an extension of The Fame, just to let you guys know. The deluxe edition combines The Fame and The Fame Monster together, but this is a separate shit, right? So, my favorite track on this album has to be Speechless. Ugh. Whenever Gaga just goes off and singing near power ballads, it's fucking beautiful. I love it. And I'm saying that and recording that as I am staring straight at my Lady Gaga Joanne poster that I got at the Lady Gaga concert. I believe that was, 3 years ago at this point? 2 years ago? So, Speechless. The mid track for me, Telephone, featuring Beyonce. And the only reason why I put that on there is just because of Beyonce. If she wasn't on there, there really wouldn't be a mid track. There wouldn't be. Because my thought course on this album is simply this. This was the album. This was the EP that leaped Gaga from regular pop star to, in my opinion, God level. That was it. This was just hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. And it was perfect. For me, perfect. Missing episodes. I know I've been at it with the shit again, but I would say for a good reason. Mainly because I was sick last week. But I've been kind of a piece of shit. That's the real truth. Been a real piece of shit. So, next week on the SoundCloud, boys and girls, I'm planning for an episode on Saturday, so be on the lookout for that. Folks, thank you so much for joining me this week. Make sure you're subscribed on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music for a new episode every Tuesday. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at The Sky Lounge. Stalk me on Snapchat at DA13IG5UNG. Now fuck off.